Leo, welcome to Illuminated Tarot. My name is Jenna. Today I'm here to do your reading for the week of April 22nd through the 28th. We're going to take a look at your recent past, your current energies, and the immediate future, as well as a discovery of the hidden truth. Let's jump right in. Let's see what the Oracle has to say. This is the Raise Your Vibration Oracle by Kyle Gray. I have it over here to my side if you're curious about getting it for yourself. What are the ways in which you can raise your vibration this week, Leo? What are you swimming through? And thank you, Spirit, for presiding over this reading for Leo today. Thank you. And thank you for tuning in, for being here with me as the sun starts to glow. The light just increased, came out from behind the clouds. It's a beautiful day here in New England. We're all enjoying the onset of spring. There's a lightness in the air when everything is sprouting, you know. Creation really shows its magic wand. We live in a vibrant universe, right? Especially when the seasons change and you come out of, more of the heavier winter months. I trust the wisdom within. I'm protected by Source. Whew. Look at that. You could be really working on your third eye development through the pineal gland, seeing deeper, the deeper layers of your conditioning, knowing that deep down, we are all a product of Source. We are Source energy. We are the embodiment of our great creator. Interestingly, nothing is by chance, whatever I'm discussing. We're also intricately connected to the cosmos. Our very cellular structure, all the periodic elements weave together in everything around us. Sorry, I hit this, especially in our bodies. Ooh, yeah. Let's go with the Arcanum Tarot. See what's happening. Past, present, future. Spirit, show me. For Leos, I like that. Growing in your wisdom, knowing that no matter what you're going through, you are always protected by Source. Because you are Source energy. It's a miracle, right? Just to even be in our bodies. All the trillions of cells, they just do what they do. We don't have to do anything. The intelligent design. Whenever I get down, I marvel at just creation. When you look at the universe, you look at just an animal. My dog's passed out on the couch. Your own body, what it knows how to do automatically. It's pretty incredible. Three of Pentacles. Teamwork makes the dream work. Recent past, you could have been really working on building a team when it comes to your job, building cohesion, finding a common vision, working together with others in a cooperative manner, but in a way where the sum total of its parts enhances the whole. Ooh, Eight of Wands. Third eye. You're getting answers, deep, deep answers, a deep knowing about your path. I feel like you're being led and guided in a very deep way this week, Leo. Ooh, around your own authenticity, around your own desires, your own ambition. This is I feel like you have a lot of ambition and you're setting your course. I think you have a goal in mind and you know you're going to get there. And this is all the irrefutable evidence, right? That you are going to get there. You could be getting an increase in money, an increase in contracts, an increase in job opportunities. If you're self-employed, clients, right? More product sales. If you are working on a job, you're definitely trying to build upon what you know, build upon where you've been. Growing, expanding, and learning. Overall general energy. You could be walking away from some emotions. A lot of people are. They're releasing so much. Discarding the past in a way that makes you lighter. And you do that through your own healing journey, Leo. Yes, the hidden truth. I think you're feeling like you've achieved a certain level of success where, it's the next level now. Once you reach a certain level, you level up. So I think that you're starting to gain more notoriety, more attention. You're honing your skills a bit more. And you're like, wow, that was successful. Why don't I try this? Why don't I add this? Something that you're seeing great success with. All right, let's clarify these energies. Why is the Three of Pentacles here? Ooh. You might have been really unsure. Really unsure about a situation. Sleepless nights, anxiety, regaining your power. What is this? Actually, I want to go into the Eight of Cups. Why is the Eight of Cups here? Because you've been worried about something. And I tell people this on the channel all the time. Worry doesn't solve anything. It just spins your wheels. Ooh, you're being challenged. You're being challenged to release something. You could have an energy around you, Knight of Wands, that likes to kick up storms. Just an energy. It could be just somebody who's younger. I feel like you have a younger energy around you that is in a more of a state of inner turmoil, and it feels like someone draining you, Leo, that you need to be careful with. This is also, standing up for your rights, your needs, your existence, standing up for your peace. A lot of times when we look at the Five of Swords, they're standing on shields. The battle's over. It's time to drop whatever occurred. Let it go. Let it go. That Frozen song. I think you're trying to let it go, but something's got in your crawl. Some sort of thorn is still digging in. This person still could be coming at you, and it's like an ongoing, not a war per se, but something that's still lingering in your energy. And I think this week you're actually addressing it and realizing I can keep replaying this over and over in my mind, or I can try to settle inside all of these disturbances and try to be as present the best I can. This is also the card signaling you almost making up the story of if they come back, this is what you'd say, this is what you do. We do this all the time, and it's a big waste of energy where we get hurt. We deal with the hurt, and we worry that it's going to keep coming. And then you start armoring. It's like, that whole, I'm going to build my fortress. I'm going to stock the ammunition. I'm going to, sharpen my blade. So this is that whole mentality of, I must defend myself. I must be prepared. I must work out every single possible scenario so I don't get taken off guard. Because something did take you by surprise, and I think you did get hurt. And this is the time for you not to dwell in that and replay it over and over and armor up, right? When we get triggered or we get a thorn in our side over a situation, can you walk away and release it? Because I think you're getting the divine answers. You can stay true to yourself and not be in a state of hypervigilance. That's what I'm seeing. You're being triggered into a state of hypervigilance, Leo, around a situation. Yeah, you are definitely reevaluating what it takes to be on the same page. In the past, you were. And I think that you manifested things to come together better with someone that you are with, someone that you greatly desire. We have the King and Queen of Pentacles, or of Wands here. So you've been in a period of manifesting more so from a partnership mentality, whether it's a business partner or a romantic partner. You've been really learning how to manifest more opportunities in this partnership for it to grow and expand, but also the monetary success that you want to see with someone by your side, where you're actually saving up your resources for whatever future goals you have. And also, if it's a business partner, trying to be on the same page about the choices you make around how you spend money. There's been some arguing, not seeing eye to eye. Your way, their way, and not finding the way in between the two perspectives. It's like the need for compromise is what I'm seeing more so as far as what you learned from the past, but something's still bothering you. I think you're trying to compromise with someone. It feels as though it's someone who may be a bit unreasonable. I'm not sure why I'm getting that. Someone who may feel a little bit unreasonable to you. All right. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, Leo. Whatever you've had to weather in the past and whatever you're currently concerned about with this week coming up, something's going to happen, but it's almost so it can get cleared. You have a worrisome nature around someone. And I don't know if you're worried about their well-being or you're worried about the well-being of the actual relationship. I think this is worry that you're not going to release whatever past stuff is still stuck in there. That tends to replay. Because in the current reality here that I see coming, the Eight of Wands, there's going to be some news this week around a bond, around the love, really, like whether it's coming rushing in. There's a love, a feeling of romantic love, a feeling of endurance, like a love that is enduring. It's like, oh, I forgot. I forgot about the love. Yeah, this is kind of like a return to love that I'm seeing here in a bond. Especially for those of you in a romantic union, there is a deep, deep return to love here and the way you are communicating with love. The overall general energy is you're not always going to feel that way, but it can be accessed. You've got this opportunity where you can worry about the love, or you can actually sink into the love and let love lead the way. You definitely have stress. It could be unrelated. You could have stress, but this feels emotional. You have some emotional distress going on, and it's going to clear up quite quickly. I think you tend to worry. If someone that you're with kind of goes emotionally withdraws, or they don't show you the signs and the signals that you need to feel safe and secure, and you kind of go back to past history, whether it was past history with this specific person or someone else, and you start to like make correlations in the data, and then you find statistical significance of like what they don't do or what they do, and then you actually hypothesize that, well, maybe they're going to leave. Maybe this isn't going to work out. And there's like this, almost like this panic that occurs only inside. And I think this week you're actually going to notice it, like really notice it and go, whoa, okay, that's not true. This person loves me. I need to be a little bit stronger in my understanding of just because they may pull away. And this, reverse the roles. This could be how someone's feeling about you. When you pull away emotionally, the fear that can come up, right? The fear of loss, the fear of this not working out. Whenever you have a spat and you get challenged by this person, there's a lot of worry because I think that there was a period of time in this connection where things were really rocky, where you didn't think you were going to make it. And then whenever you revisit that place, it's for you to release the old stuff because you don't want the old stuff to inform the present. It compounds things. It makes things harder and heavier. So I think this week you're recognizing, oh, this is old stuff surfacing, old trauma. Let's clear it. We don't want this in the way because it's going to prevent you from really feeling the love, which is obviously here this week. Yeah. You are working really hard to come into balance inside of you, really investing in your own stability in the way you show your desire. There's this period of rest that you need to be going through in the near future, giving more to yourself than you are to this connection. I think that there's sometimes, listen, whoever you're with, there's going to be times where you're not really feeling connected and times when you are feeling really connected. And I think when you don't feel connected long enough, you start to worry. And then you reconnect and then you're like, oh, okay, what was I worried about? And I think you're working very hard this week on recognizing this pattern and realizing, all right, if there's an emotional distance going on, it's not my job to bring the other person back. It's my job to love myself more deeply and not be in a state of worry. I mean, there's obviously a strong attraction here. There's the opportunity to really stabilize the energy. An opportunity to really bring a lot of love into the connection. I just think you have a tendency to worry about this, about the longevity, and if you're married, this has to do with about the happiness and the healthiness of the bond itself. You want to build a safe, secure love, and I think that sometimes your mind can get the better of you when things shift in the energy and you start to worry. And I think that you're starting to realize, okay, the more balanced I am in myself and the more I pay attention to me, the less I'm going to get stuck in these states of worry. Yeah, you have a beautiful love bond in your life. It feels like you're going through a deep healing phase with another person. At first, I thought this was a work union, but a lot of you, this is someone that you're in a relationship with. If not someone you're dating, and the love is deepening, and you're really working on stabilizing your energy and not being in a state of fear in your response to love and the way someone else is acting. You may have someone who is legit not being consistent in their behavior, and then that makes you question, and that's okay. But you know what? You can't control how other people show up. All you can control is how you respond to it. And I think that's what you're learning this week of, all right, this is what they do. I can't change it. I'm going to pull my energy back. I'm going to put love first. I'm going to keep my heart open. I'm going to surrender. I'm not going to take it to this place of hypervigilance, fear, armoring up, sharpening the blade. And I'm going to work on healing this so I can nurture myself even in a more deeply pure way and nurture them without being afraid. These are normal fears that come up. Yeah, you're learning and growing. And I think the hidden truth here is that this connection is really guiding you down a deeply healing path, Leo, where you're growing a lot more in your intuition. You're recognizing the levels of success that you're achieving in your own intuition, in the growth of your intuition, in your own gifts. This is the card of actual, true, beautiful awareness of soul. Less of ego, more of soul. Ego lives in fear. Soul lives in love. You choose. Which one feels better? Which one feels better? It's very easy, right? But we get stuck. We replay these stories because, hey, it happened in the past. It could happen again. But then we guard ourselves against something that hasn't even arrived yet. So I don't even see this as self-sabotage. I just see this as legitimate worry and concern. You have evidence. But let's start operating a little bit differently, because repeating past patterns of behavior doesn't make the person change. So this is about really honing in on what you need to feel stable in a loving bond. There's a lot of communication that's shifting to the way you respond to each other, more from a place of love. If you're coming in this reading, you're worried, is it ever going to change? Oh, yeah, it is. It's changing for the better. You're both investing in your healing journeys separately. When a couple that grows together stays together, and I'm seeing that. Like, there have been times where you didn't think this person would change or grow, and I think the thing is that you both are really growing in deep and profound ways. You have a lot of knowing about this person, and you know them very well. I think you're going to achieve a really beautiful level of success in your learning, in your growth, especially around your wisdom, and not going to this place of hypervigilance, defensiveness, worry, releasing those fears that dictate and govern where our minds go is our greatest work. Let's get the advice from Spirit here, Leo. I think it's going to be a beautiful week. Just have a slight trigger you're working through, and you might have had a recent upheaval in a commitment. Like a little earthquake went through, a ripple, and it sent like this fear shock. Yeah, you had a disagreement. You had a disagreement, a fight, a spat, a lover's quarrel. I'm not making light of it. It's just, these things happen. The energy spikes. You take a step back, you calm down, you learn from it, you grow from it, and then you come together in a deeper way because you build trust. And I think that's what I'm seeing here is you're building more of that feeling of safety and trust and being held after a disagreement where you both can reassess and reevaluate, okay, what do we need to do in the expression of our own perspectives when things get fiery and out of control? Let's calm the communication down, come from a place of love and healing so we can stabilize the energy. And ultimately what this serves is deepening your awareness of your soul self and responding as such from that place, not from ego and being triggered, but from love, What is the advice? What is the advice from Spirit, Leo? I feel like it's going to be a really beautiful week as you navigate maybe some miscommunication. It could have just been something as simple as a misunderstanding that got blown out of proportion. Strength. There it is again. Page of Cups, Five of Cups. Yeah, I think sometimes what we learn is we regress. We go from like our wounded self. Don't get too down about anything that you're replaying in your mind that happened recently in the past about how you handled a situation. Listen, triggers are going to happen. It's practice, not perfection. Practice, not perfection. So this is that, I'm going to be humble in the face of whatever makes me feel afraid. And yeah, there are times where I'm going to get down. But see, this is where we don't want to get stuck there. You're going to move through a million different emotions in one day. Seriously. If we get stuck there, there's something that we need to release in the mind. And you go deeper than that. So I think you're starting to pull your awareness back enough to go, oh, this is interesting how I kick up these storms from week to week. You know, because yes, you have irrefutable evidence you could be dealing with an inconsistent energy that shows up in immature ways. And yes, do they upset you? Yes. Do they hurt you? Yes. But you are strong enough to see past it and go deeper than that and realize that it's not happening to you. It's happening as you are watching it. So what I'm going to try to see. When someone comes at us from their perspective, and this is the thing about conflict resolution, you don't have to agree with their perspective, but once you validate their perspective, usually it calms the energies down. It's when we start arguing that our perception is right and their perception is wrong. And this is something that we all tend to repeat ad nauseum during a retrograde, because really unfortunate misunderstandings can happen where lines of communication get thrown. If you're coming from a place of insecurity, you might start, thinking it's one thing when it's not. And here's the thing. Get to the truth of the matter. Get to the heart of the matter. It's okay if someone shows up in a way that you don't like. But accepting what is your best way to freedom. Accept that sometimes you're going to be dealing with immature people that can be upsetting to you. But are you strong enough to not let it disturb you? That's the thing. We start taking the way someone responds to us, and then we take that information, and then it hits something within us, right? An insecurity. And then we start to think, well, it starts to make us feel negative inside. So you have a choice this week to take the actions and the words of another so close to heart. Listen, and this is what happens. You get to choose how to handle it. And the advice from Spirit is, they're almost saying you're strong enough to see through someone's insecurities and the way they kick up disturbances to get attention. Leo, you've had someone around you. I don't know if it's someone you work with, a family member, a partner, where they like to operate from getting almost negative attention. And you used to just get immediately hammered by it. And it would really cause a disturbance. And now you're like, they're doing it again. And you're recognizing this week specifically, wow, I totally changed the way I responded to that. I didn't let it bother me. And why didn't you let it bother you? Because you know it's just them and their own ego kicking up a storm again. It has nothing to do with you. Sometimes people just want attention. And they seek it out in any way they can. And that's what I'm talking about with any kind of emotional immaturity. I think that you're trying to almost get someone to wake up a bit. But see, what happens is when you do that is you lose sight of your own wisdom. So this is what you do. I trust in the wisdom within and I'm protected by source. So don't let someone's antics and their immaturity take you down to that level. You need to stay above the fray, right? And when someone starts to come at you, usually when we respond and we get our hackles up, it's because they're hitting some nerve within you that is an old wound. And I think you're going to recognize it, though. If you catch it when it happens, it changes the whole thing. And there's nothing harder than someone trying to get a rise out of you, and it actually doesn't bother you at all. Because it's their truth, but it's not your truth. And this is something that people are encountering this week in the energy. I'm seeing this repeat in the messages here, that we're all being hit. And it's like, are you willing to release the past stuff so it doesn't get informed in the present? So when you get triggered, you let it roll right through. You let it roll right through. And it's a beautiful way to be. The only way you're going to get an inner disturbance inside is if something hits you in a way that is an old wound for you. You release what you can. And then these things that come at you, it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't hurt the same. I hope that makes sense. What is the untethered soul message? think Sagittarius had this. The Tao is in the middle. It's the place where there is no energy pushing in either direction. You know how hard it is to be in that place? I call that place, and Michael Singer calls it this place of being in between action and stillness. And I think that's what you're doing. You're like, someone's coming at you and they want you to really react because that's the way they think you show love. And then there's that opposite where you're completely still, almost like you don't care. But there's this fine line in the middle that is neutral. And that is that equanimity, right? Where it just goes, shoo, it goes right through because it doesn't get caught, doesn't get ensnared inside. And you're also not indifferent or ambivalent. So I hope I'm making sense. I just feel like you're actually learning through practice how to respond to an energy that's almost like a little Tasmanian devil around you. And they're the ones that get activated a lot. They're always in like some sort of like, the roof, the sky is falling. Like they're maybe a little bit of an alarmist. And you're that calm, steady voice. And this week though, you're like, man, let's just like try to heal whatever's going on with this misunderstanding. And let's really get to the heart of the matter. And I think you're doing it from the place of the Tao. True wisdom, true spiritual depth. Bravo, Leo. It's it's not easy to do this. This is the hardest work we'll do when we encounter energies that want to create a disturbance. We get to decide whether we want to play the game or step out of the game, right? You want to get inside that Pandora's box, or do you want to stay outside of that fray? And I think you're staying outside of that fray this week. Don't get ensnarled in their dramatizations, we'll say that. It feels like another person who you're learning a lot from. So good luck. Take care.